This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you guys, the pit crew, are the real star of today's show because we are here to talk about our favorite hobby, sport, common interest, and that being sim racing. So, happy hump day to everybody, May 23rd, and I'm wearing my Majors Series shirt today because we have the Simpit IndyCar race coming up very soon. We'll be talking more about that as things get closer. Should be talking about that today, but I don't have it as one of my stories, but I am wearing my Majors shirt, so thank you, Mike. Thank you to the guys at the Majors Series for putting on such a great show. So what is going on in the world of sim racing? My little change on the show, we've changed our graphic. We no longer have a subscriber goal that we're trying to achieve. We fell a little short on our goal, but it was a very, very optimistic, very high goal. Had no chance on the curve that we were at. I can see the growth curve, and there's no way we're going to achieve that goal. But now, a lot of you guys don't know, Michael Clark is very generous to the show, and I thank him often on the show. I'm going to thank him one more time because he actually sometimes donates before the show even gets going. So we do have our new graphic there with showing Michael Clark's donation from today and showing our new subscribers. So that's my way of encouraging. If you haven't, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel and help us do everything we can to grow. So, what is going on in the world of sim racing? And of course, any of these topics are of interest to you, chime in. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it. And if you guys have any of sim racing news out there that you think we need to bring attention to, be sure to let me know. And maybe it's one of the stories I don't have to cover. So, just going to blow through a few of these really quick. It is just a lot of racing news mainly today. That's what we have going on in sim racing. Is racing is heating up in not just esport leagues. You know, the beginning of the season happened a couple of months ago at this point, you know, and this is when sim racing is in its prime time for competitive sim racing. So we have the leaderboards from what went on in round 3 because round 4 is getting ready to go in the Forza Racing Championship. I just want to see and say some of the names so that we can be familiar with who our champs are going to be. Mitch, 7, Box from teams JSR, BAM, and TPR. I see Chemical from TPR. Tom Jones, look at that. Yeah, I want to see how that shows up, Tom. I don't see anything just yet. I'm going to keep my eye on the stream to see what happens. Thank you for testing that for me, and thank you for the donation very much. There it goes. I see it just popped over. So, let's see. We also had the other finals. What was this? This is also round 3. Vanquish. We talked about this. Force 1 and Lightning. We covered that when it happened. So, round 4 is gearing up and will be going on today, actually. Who will be number 1 at the end of this week? Also, I've mentioned a few of the different rounds of the ACR Racing series for Project Cars. You know, that's their big racing series. And here we actually have one of the current standings as they head into round 10. So after 9 rounds of racing, we have Robin Juice with 107 points, just blowing away. Look at the difference, 68 points back to second. And you have a very competitive group going for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot between Hans Fan, Blank File, Alex X2121, and Curry Worst 1990. So again, we're just kind of trying to keep our names on the who's who in the sim racing world. And now they're heading off to Silverstone, it looks like. Codemasters with the Formula 1 game, the new name, new title, Formula 1 game. There was that legendary lap of Ayrton Senna in 1988 in Monaco that I guess the footage was lost and never seen. And I'm pretty sure that this is like their recreation. This looks like a video game. Really well done by them, other than I think the footage a little more jittery than it actually was in 88. But anyway, a little teaser of the lap that never happened over at Codemasters. And Gamer Muscle said that he'd be arrested. If he said what? What did I say? Alright. You are on top of the screen. Leaderboard. Tom Jones leading the way. Well done, Tom. First Codemasters talking about, so their big event at Silverstone is going on. So we haven't talked about dirt in a while, but don't miss a second of the action. The finale will be live on Twitch and Motorsport TV, 2 p.m. Saturday. So here are the links here. This is at the Codemasters Twitter page, and you will be able to find out and watch their whole FIA World Rallycross competition that they have going on, and that's going to be a big deal and something we'll be talking about on Monday, I'm sure. Lots going on at iRacing. I actually have to probably refresh my page to make sure I have everything. Number one, first and foremost, is Belle Isle is the new track coming to iRacing, and they have a full preview of their own. You can see the Indy cars. That's what makes that track and Indy car kind of synonymous. But this is, this was the Detroit Grand Prix along the Detroit River. Belle Isle, really cool temporary circuit and a lot of fun to drive. I'm trying to remember the sim, and anybody who can help me out, I'd love to remember. What sim? Michael Clark. Oh, it's on, guys. Wow, I should have done this a while ago. Anyway, Belle Isle is coming to iRacing, and that's very exciting. Anybody remember what game was it that had Belle Isle in the automotive world? Do we have to go to an R Factor mod? I can't remember for the life of me. Doug Hawley getting in on the action. Oh, too funny, you guys. Anyway, in the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze series, they had a nail biter. I guess it was a crazy race. I saw a post from Ray Alfalo, the season leader, the championship points leader right now. But what we had is a green-white checkered that resulted in literally a photo finish with Nicholas Shelton taking the victory. I guess there's a huge wreck just before the end, and then obviously it finished with green-white checkered. And let me refresh this, because I think there was one more story that just happened. I know the IndyCar race from the Indy 500, which I didn't get to watch. Yeah, here it is. They also, in the top split, they actually had a remarkable finish there as well. Let's see if we can get a little closer to the end. But this is literally the end after 500 miles in the top split, going for the win. Hey, Darren, thank you very much. Darren on the leaderboard. Happy birthday to you too. Oh, craziness going on there. But if you didn't check this out, you can find that on, I believe it was Race Spot who did that. Might have just been on iRacing Live. So there you go. Photo finishes everywhere going on iRacing in their big competitive series. And in addition to that, we have Belle Isle coming in just 2 weeks. Dakar! What happened at Dakar? They are just showing us things every day, and then it disappeared. I actually saw a post, I don't remember where or by who, but somebody was like, what is this, Dakar, just some vaporware? Well, we finally get another tease, and not exactly what we're going to be thrilled about, but you got to look beyond the car, I think. Look at the rain. Look at the lightning. Look at the clouds. Look at the dark skies that really give you the feeling of that kind of a day. So I'm going to applaud them graphically. It does look fun. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be worthy of playing. I don't know if it'll be worth launch day pricing versus kind of waiting till we can get a deal on it. But we'll have to definitely check that out. Crew, we're getting some specs now. So from the Crew guys, you can go to their Twitter page for the Crew 2, I should say, to be more accurate and fair. But we do have the requirements to run it. So minimum configuration running at 30 frames versus recommended configuration and achieving 60 frames. That's very cool for it. Looks like an i5 4690 is going to get you done with an AMD Ryzen 5 or a GTX 1060, 970 if it's a 4 gig, and so on, so on. So more detail all the way down, giving you every last detail about it. Got to applaud them on giving you this. This is sort of a... Oh, look at this. We even have a list of supported driving wheels. Fanatic Club Sport, Thrustmaster Series, pretty much all the Thrustmasters. Logitech, G27, I assume it'll work with the G29 as well. Twin wheel F1 combo. What is that? It'll work with the Sim Raceway SR-S1 wheel. I want to know what this is. This strikes me crazy right here. Hold on. Bear with me. Paste and go. Oh, it's a Thrustmaster wheel. Is it? Genius. No, Genius. At Walmart, you can pick this sucker up. Oh, no longer available. Okay, so it's a cheesy wheel that probably none of us are using. But it supports that wheel even. So, good job to the crew for putting this out. That's the other thing I want to, you know, pat them on the back for, is giving us a quality amount of information on the specs of the game and how it'll run. I love that. GT Planet has a couple of cool stories. Number one, we've speculated and talked about the life and death of the PlayStation 4. But truly, the end of the life cycle for the PlayStation 4 doesn't happen a day before the PlayStation 5 comes out. In relation to that, there is an article here from the Wall Street Journal saying that the next PlayStation is 3 years off still. So with it being 3 years away, I dare say we're not quite to the end of the life cycle of the PlayStation 4. Kind of a confusing topic, because again, end of the life cycle doesn't happen a day before the new one. Also, GT Planet has an article here on the new race regulation system that's coming to Forza 7. I saw it there. I could have got the story myself, but I did see it at GT Planet, so I'll give them credit for getting the scoop there. But a lot going on with additional cars, extended pass, and a lot of other things if you're a Forza head. Get over to GT Planet, follow that link, and you can go find out all the details on the regulations and everything else. FA Racing, this is a shot from Fernando, and one of the perks of being part of that team, not that they're there or just this team, but it's a whole other angle. Hey, Viking Jesse, thank you. The crew is a horrible game and deserves no respect, just like their DD wheel support. Yes, good point there. Now, is that why we hate the crew, Jesse? Now, I still need to do my review, and that'll be a perfect opportunity. But you know, this might get it done. We're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to find out if it will or won't. So, good point, valid point. I didn't see any direct drive wheel support at all on that list. Anyway, Fernando is back in the simulator, doing more prep. Simulator day, he calls it. Cool picture. He's my favorite driver. What can I say? When it comes to have fun, Alonso's my guy. This is kind of a big news, and kind of just shows you that things are growing. We're getting to the point where companies are merging, going out of business, joining forces, buying others out. So here's an article at LSR TV. Any of you who watch racing broadcasts, you know LSR TV. They're one of the leaders, and they have now acquired, is the wording they used, acquired Primetime Racing. So a portion of their, you know, all their broadcasts from PTR are going to be moved over to LSR TV. And I don't know if this was a financial thing or a handshake thing or whatever, but it just shows that we're getting to that point where our companies are going to start merging or acquiring others. Sales, yeah, I would expect more support from GT Sport. I guess that's the question. I mean, we still haven't heard. Do we know an exact date of the next Gran Turismo? I'm not sure if we do. But that might be something in conjunction with that 3-year mark, perhaps. And that could give them 3 years of legs to work with GT Sport. I do not, Nathan. Paid armor. Boy, we could use this with Wreckfest, huh? Paid armored operation DLC hits the gravel racetrack. So look at this brute of a vehicle. There is one of these armored cars. It's at the Mercedes dealership near me. I got to take a picture of it and show you guys. Maybe I'll do that today and show it in tomorrow's show. Of literally an armored vehicle you can buy for yourself and drive around on the streets. I had seen it in an article when they first came out. This is the first time I've ever seen one in real life. I got to get it even though it's not sim racing related. Anyway, if you're into gravel, that DLC is available. I would like to have that in Wreckfest next Monday. TerraTech. If you don't remember TerraTech, I mentioned it. It's ridiculously funny. You build your vehicles and then you go out and destroy things, it looks like, from what I've seen on the game. Early access is the stage the game is in, but right now for 24 hours, so that's today, starting at 6 p.m. BST, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's in 45 minutes, you will be able to play for free. And starting today and running until Sunday, May 27th. So if you want to check that out, you can, because it looks kind of funny and ridiculous. Another funny and ridiculous game is a game, here's a review and you can check it out. It's just, if it's racing related, I'll mention it. I'm not going to dwell on it. ThisGenGaming.com has a game called Stay Safe. And he talks about the mission he was on, and he took him 84, I think it was. Where was it? 84 attempts to get the final prize in the game. Anyway, another one of those F-Zero type racers, but you're going along and there are obstacles to avoid, jumps and various things. You can check that out, like I said, at This Gen Gaming. Race Room has an article here that is kind of a cool read, just if you're looking for something to read and entertain yourself. It's funny. Confessions of an Achievement Hunter. And he's talking about the guys who go after all the trophies and all the various different prizes in a variety of different games, including sim racing games. And he talks about, you know, race department really being a racing crowd, not really going after the achievements. You know, that's more of a gamer mentality than a sim racer mentality. But it's a good read, and if you want to check it out, Leon90's the one who posted it yesterday. Confessions of an Achievement Hunter over there at Race Department. Let me clear my throat and get my coffee here. I missed what John Hill said. All right, moving on. Moving right along, you guys. This is kind of a cool. We've talked about racing scholarships. We've talked about various different things, the way gaming is entering its way into college. Did I say that right? Did I say college, entering college? Esport gaming entering college, whether it be through scholarships, programs, whatever. University of Akron is offering a class on esport broadcasting. As these events get bigger and bigger, the guys they invite to be up on the stage and announce the race are going to start getting paid, and start getting paid more and more. Announcing could be a very lucrative career in a couple more years of sim racing. And if it's something that you guys need, yeah, Dipshit Pie needs that armored vehicle. I got to go get shots of that. Now, I'm going to do that today. I'm going to have that on tomorrow's show, just so you guys can see the kind of car you can buy in Thousand Oaks. I should get you pictures of Auto Row in Thousand Oaks. It blows my mind, the amount of money in the town I live right now. Anyway, if you're young, if you're looking for a future, and you like the idea of broadcasting, but TV in your mind is going to be dead, esport broadcasting. I mean, imagine Fortnite. Was it Fortnite that has that $100 million on their esport thing now, tournament? The broadcaster's going to get paid, believe me. So, oh, I hate saying believe me. I didn't mean that. I have a hunch that the broadcasters are going to be paid, and paid well. Glasgow Live, so Ireland. We try out the UK's first full-motion virtual reality racing center. This came to us from Spatial. Thank you for sending this in, Spatial. A lot of the other stories came to us from The Man, and then I do a lot. Anyway, look at this. In Ireland, a guy with this kind of head set up on his head could be actually very scary in the future, or in the past. Anyway, but here is this VR motion sim center. Oh, it almost looks like a Simpit logo right there on the wall. Yes, Simpit is a big giant sponsor of the Glasgow Sim Center. So this is very cool. If you're out in that region, it is something that might be worth going to. It looks like a pretty fun place. And congratulations. I think we're seeing another little boom in sim centers. Sim centers were sort of the thing that people would do, and then they'd fail. And they'd do them, and then they'd fail. It seems like the idea is now catching on. It's Scotland? I said Ireland. I meant Scotland. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Is it Next Level Motion Sims? Good eye. We don't really get a great view in that picture, do we? I see that chrome plating, diamond plate-ish stuff. Anyway, moving right along. We already talked about at the iRacing Twitter page, but they had a write-up on the finish there at Charlotte. You can see the whole race at iRacing Live TV. They had, oh, I'm sorry, the Outlaw series. Sorry, Tim Ryan. They also had an exciting race. So again, if you're just looking for some entertainment, you're at work and you want to fire something up on the phone while you're working, if you go to iRacing Live, you're going to be able to check out the World of Outlaw, their championship level there. We already talked about Shelton winning in that last lap pass. That's there as well. More racing. Like I said, today's the racing heavy show. On the 23rd, so this is tonight, will be the Race Center Grand Prix of Japan. So this is on the road course of Motegi for the guys at the Lionheart Racing Series. 2 weeks ago, their last race was actually on the oval at Motegi. So this is Race Center Grand Prix of Japan. Race Center being a motion center in Australia. There are 2 of them down there in Australia. So 10 hours, 27 minutes till that race and broadcast that you can check out on GSRC iRacing Live as well. So again, lots of sim racing entertainment out there. Moving on to a totally not sim racing related story, but there are a few things in life that I am anticipating I look forward to. Hey, it's Hump Day. Tonight's the Survivor finale. I'm looking forward to that. I was looking forward to Red Dead Redemption, and they had that very big delay. Anyway, their lead developer has said there will be no further delays. So that release date of October 26th is, they're saying they're going to hold to that date. So I'll be looking forward to that. Other things not sim racing related, but just the other day we talked about Leisure Suit Larry and how there will be no more of that on Steam. And just as I do that, just as I say that, here at worthplaying.com, they talk about a new version of Leisure Suit Larry. I don't know how many of you remember playing this. This was so old school. Leisure Suit Larry literally goes back to like the first PCs that you could get. So this could be pretty funny. Just to give you an idea, if you've never, the photos probably speak for themselves. Like, hey. Yes, Leisure Suit Larry. I will be playing that. I don't know if I'll be able to cover it on the show, but very funny and ironic that they would announce that literally days after I talked about there'll be no more Leisure Suit Larrys, at least not on Steam. IGN says that Puma X Sega Sonic Eggman sneakers get their final release date, so June 12th. I don't know if anybody here buys a pair of these. You gotta send me pictures. I will make you the star of the show and show off your Sega shoes. I like the blue furry ones a little more, I think. I guess the cool thing would be to buy both and wear one on each foot. Anyway, I'm not very excited about those, but I think it's funny as heck that that's being done. And we already looked up the Gina. Gosh, does that take us to the end of the show? So quick. I feel like we just blew through it, and we are 24 minutes into the show, so I guess we didn't Sean Cole dating sim. Yeah. Yeah, John Hill, the shoe man. Are you going to buy a pair of Sega Sonic shoes? So that does take us to the end of the news. Few things I do want to mention. In the description of the show, I do have our Twitch address. I've actually put some attention into Twitch. We've been streaming on Twitch for a long time. Anything we do live, but I've given it no attention. I've finally given the page some attention. I hear from a lot of people that Twitch actually is the clearer stream. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard it. And if you want, we are on Twitch. Our chat, when I'm reading my chat, I am hearing and seeing and responding to both. So, and that's what goes up on the stream as well. If you're watching on YouTube and typing there, only YouTube people are seeing you there, but it is going live to the whole world. So anyway, ooh, I don't want to leave this graphic up. I'd rather look at Puma. I'd rather look at Sonic shoes than that graphic. So anyway, if you want to check that out, follow us on Twitch. You can do that. Be sure to subscribe to both Twitch, YouTube. Do everything you can to help us grow the channel. Beyond that, I tell you guys, I'm going to make you the stars of the show. I mean it. Wolfgang Gruber was the last one to actually get a lap time in at Long Beach in that Project Cars 2 challenge. I'm going to ask one of you guys, somebody else, somebody go get on a leaderboard and throw down the gauntlet on something that'll be open for a few days. And that way we can throw the challenge out to everybody. But Wolfgang, he wasn't impressed with himself. I think he was 114th on the board. But I know there are a lot more than 114 people on the board. So still, job well done, Wolfgang, with that lap time. He was in the 39s. I see that. So, I mean, this was a fast lap time. Beyond that, last night I had kind of an entertaining stream. Nordschleife. If you watch me drive Nordschleife, you'd think I've never been there. Or maybe you think I've been there for the first third of the track. Maybe you think I've been there a couple of times for the middle third, and for the end third, you'd think I was seeing it for the first time. And that is not the case, funny enough. But for some reason, and I do think of myself as somebody who learns track layout very quickly, man, am I terrible at Nordschleife. And if you want to watch me suck at driving, which I try not to do, especially not live on a stream, man, you were going to see some funny moments there where I just do not know what I'm doing at Nordschleife. I will be back at Nordschleife tonight because I have a race there tomorrow night and Friday night. Tonight, though, we'll be back, and I don't even want to call it Attack the Track. Tonight's show, even though it's going to start at 6, which is when we normally do our Attack the Track, I think we're looking at Why Do I Suck So Bad at Nordschleife version 2. I'm capable of a good lap time. I've run an 8:14, which is respectable in the Porsche 911 RSR. I was about to run like an 8:10, 8:9 even, maybe even quicker, and then I dumped it like literally like a mile from the finish, which is why I suck so bad at Nordschleife. So that'll be tonight at 6, and if you want to tune in, that'd be cool. Come out and join us. Go to Sim Racing Systems. You can join us there. Tonight isn't through Sims Racing System. It's on our private server. Thank you, Dennis. And that stream will be at 6 o'clock. Come out and turn some laps with us. And if you're a patron member, you can get the password to our private server, which is where all the paint schemes are. And it's also where we're sharing setups. And it's also where me and all the guys practice each and every day. So that is going to do it. We almost made 30 minutes, but we're going to be just shy. Not like I have any time goal. The show goes until the show goes, and then we get off the air. That is going to do it for today. Thank you for being the pit crew. Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Pit Stop. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.